For some reason, I happen to like double meanings for the same phrase. It can be in the form of a pun or even a double entendre. For example, today's episode is called Acting on Purpose. Well, it can mean acting for a reason, or it can mean having a purpose to act on. Either way, we'll look into both meanings to uncover the truth about why actors act. This is Casting Actors Cast.
It's time for another episode of Casting Actors Cast, insights for actors from a casting director. Here he is, your host, Jeffrey Dreisbach.
Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of Casting Actors Cast. I'm casting partner Jeffrey Dreisbach with the McCorkle Group in New York. How are you? I'm looking forward to sharing today's episode on the purpose of acting or acting on purpose and exactly why actors act. But first, this is that moment of the conversation where I get to say hello. Thank you so much for tuning in to Casting Actors Cast. I'm thrilled that you are here. If this is your first time joining us on the podcast, thank you so very much for doing so. Maybe somebody told you about the podcast. Maybe somebody told you that it's gotten really popular with 100,000 downloads, or maybe you just stumbled on it by accident. I don't care. In any case, you are here and it is now, and thank you for that. For those of you that have been listening a long time, I apologize for repeating myself on every episode, but you can find out more information about the podcast, Casting Actors Cast, if you go to the website, castingactorscast, all one word, .com. There you're going to find some additional information about the show. You're going to see past episodes of Casting Actors Cast. And on that landing page, that very first page of the website, is a form that says dive into the talent pool. This is a place for your name and your email and any kind of message that you want to give me. If you want to send me a letter, if you want to just give me some praise, I'm always, I can always use some strokes. That would be great. But more importantly, I don't do anything with that information. I just have said this many times as well. I love doing these podcasts. And as long as there's an audience for them, as long as there's interest and the interest continues to grow, I am thrilled to be able to bring these podcasts with you. I'm a casting director with over 13 years of experience in casting and over 20 years experience as an actor. And I think I can share some insight into my journey as an actor. And now I'm sitting on the other side of the table and I'm able to talk to you about kind of pulling back, how I pull back the curtain and expose exactly what the process of being an actor is all about. So anyway, filling out that form, what will happen actually is that opens up another menu of a couple of choices for you, absolutely free of charge. And when I say free, I mean free. It's so funny that I've gotten letters from folks saying that it can't possibly be free. I know you must be selling something. Well, no, it's completely free. It's a book that I wrote on doing voiceover work called Conversation Pieces Out of the Studio, the voiceover workshop for professional actors. It's a 100-page PDF workshop based on my classes that I've taught over the many years. And you can have it free of charge. You can put it on your device and you can read it. It's a PDF. It couldn't be easier. The next is a video that you can take a look at if you like. It's called Casting Secrets, What They Don't Tell You. But I'm going to tell you in this 20-minute video that I think you might find really, really useful. And so that's my housekeeping. Oh, by the way, you can send me an email, castingactorscast@gmail.com. So come on in, join the acting talent pool, dive in, and I hope that I can hear from you shortly. By the way, finally, I'll just say if you could spread the word, if you could spread the word, if you could let others know that this podcast exists, solely here to help you be more comfortable and more confident, I would appreciate that very much. Leaving me a review, especially on iTunes, all of that stuff helps me tremendously. All right, let's get into the subject, shall we? Why do actors act? So we call this acting on purpose. What driving purpose can explain the dedication, discipline, risks it takes to become an actor? Finding out the reason that actors act, it can be quite complicated, yet really valuable to examine, I think. It can lead to a healthy foundation for our creativity. After all, if we have a reason, we can understand why we choose this vocation or avocation, as the case may be. Now, here are some reasons that I've put together that I've heard from other actors and a few of my own thoughts about why actors act. When I actors, when I ask, actors, why do you want to act? The most common response I hear is it's something I've always wanted. It's something I always wanted to do. Then we trace that back and we find out that when you were young, you saw a performance that felt so interesting and you felt so inspired by that. Or maybe you were in a school play. Even the 6th grade school play can inspire young people to want more of that feeling. Speaking of more of that feeling, the second reason I hear a lot of is they just love the idea of being an actor. The opportunity to be playing other people, creative outlet, having and getting admiration from others. Perhaps it's just the creative lifestyle that is very, very appealing to folks when they think about being an actor. Well, the third reason I hear quite a bit is there's nothing else I'd rather do. Being a creative storyteller is so enticing, I can't imagine doing anything else. Moving on from there, the fourth possibility of the reason of being an actor is it's possible to be rich and famous. Now, I know, few would admit that the reason they want to be an actor is to be rich and famous. But you know what? Think about it. I don't know about you, but that was certainly part of my motivation. I really loved the idea of being well known and being able to make a lot of money with my acting. So I think a lot of people might secretly harbor, but they would never admit it. Number 5, believe in the value of storytelling as an art form for the betterment of society. Now, that is a very noble and lofty reason. Being a storyteller to help the social contract that we have, to expose areas of our lives and our communities and tell that story in a way that can be helpful to others is a very noble, like I said, but it's also a really, really cool reason I think that a lot of actors choose to become an actor. They have this inner drive, this inner motivation to being helpful in society. Number 6, the 6th reason. I think a lot of actors go into acting because it's a really interesting way to explore the human condition. And another healthy way to, understand our own psychology. I think that that's a really cool reason as well. In other words, while playing other people, we can get insight into our own approach to playing other people. And we get a better understanding of who we are. And something you've heard me say on previous podcasts, and that is that I think every actor should have some therapy. And I don't mean that in a, shame on you kind of way. I mean that in a way to gain more insight into how you choose and how you make the decisions you do and how you have used your experience as a young person growing up and apply that to the challenges that you might find yourself in today. So if you have a reason I haven't mentioned of those reasons, please let me know. You can just go to castingactorscast@gmail.com if you want and let me know. Maybe there's a reason you want to become an actor that I haven't heard. Let me know. I'd love to share that on future podcasts. Now, let me just say this. Each reason we have for why we choose to be an actor, those reasons are valid. Actually, I think that no one reason is correct. Typically, there are a few driving factors for our decision to act. From what I know, no actor has had someone beg us to become an actor. I don't think your mom or your dad said, please, for the love of God, become an actor. So we must rely on our own creativity, our intellect, and our determination to follow our passion. It might not make much sense to friends and family or community to understand our reasons, but it needs to only make sense to us. It is our purpose. It is our intentional understanding of how we choose to pursue a creative life. In another way, acting on purpose can be a new approach to the characters we are playing. See what I did just there? Here's how defining your character's purpose can be a useful tool to check out. 1, ask yourself why the character that you are playing was written in the first place. What is that character's purpose? Why did the writer choose to make the decision to write the character you are playing? Coming to an understanding about the writer's intention can really open up some amazing choices for you while you're acting. So that would be, in my mind, that would be the purpose number 1. Purpose number 2, find out what drives the character to behave the way that they do. Now, I've often said that acting is behaving. And so finding out how your character behaves by making very specific choices is really a great way to feel more comfortable and more confident with your acting, because you have that purpose. Purpose number 2, what drives your character. Purpose number 3. This is kind of interesting, I think, but when you can connect with the similarities between you and your character, you now have discovered both purposes. How you relate to your character based on your own experience, and how your own experience can be infused with the character you're playing, has a interesting, here's a good word, synergy that is worth exploring as often as you can, whether it's for an audition or whether it's for a role you've already been cast in, or perhaps even a class in a workshop. All of those reasons can be useful. Now, you've heard the phrase, everything happens for a reason. Acting on purpose, or our purpose for acting, really makes for an interesting journey. I'm Jeffrey Dreisbach. This is Casting Actors Cast. See you next time.
Thank you for joining Casting Actors Cast. I'm Megan Grace Martinez.